Sheriff Ray Nash here, and welcome to Police Dynamics Media. We have in fact changed our domain name, so now that's the official site, policedynamicsmedia.com. Take you directly to our blog site. Getting a lot of hits. Appreciate all the comments. We want to start out today talking about the dynamic of authority, and I want to give you the first authority maxim, which says this: all human authority is delegated authority. All human authority always flows from a higher source. We see this right here in our system of government. In the American model, the people have delegated certain constitutional authorities to our government. We can look back to our founding documents. For example, the Constitution says, "We the people." You know, it still says that. I checked it last week because I saw some things going on up there in Washington, and I thought, well, maybe they changed it and forgot to tell me. But no, the Constitution still says, "We the people." We can turn the clock back a little bit further to our original founding document, the Declaration of Independence. Now, what does it say? When in the course of human events it becomes necessary for one people to dissolve the political bonds that have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth that equal and separate station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, then a decent respect for the opinion of mankind requires that they declare the causes that impel them to the separation. That's one paragraph, one sentence, and it's the opening paragraph of the Declaration of Independence. And I think what Jefferson was trying to say, rather eloquently and somewhat long-windedly, is this: hey y'all, we're about to break this thing off with Great Britain. Now, Jefferson may have said y'all because he was from Virginia, but be that as it may, the point was that Lexington and Concord was in 1775. We were already at war. We're now in July 1776, shortly after the Battle of Sullivan's Island in my home of South Carolina, that gave them that impetus to go ahead and sign this Declaration of Independence. The Second Continental Congress was in session in Philadelphia, and they were debating this, saying, what should we do with this war? And the common consensus was, we've got to declare to the rest of the world why we are doing this, because a decent respect for the opinion of mankind requires that we declare the causes that impel us to this separation. The second paragraph says, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, and they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, and that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Notice it does not say you have a right to be happy. Now, we're not guaranteeing that. We recognize you have a right to pursue it, but finding it is up to you. And then the Declaration goes on to say that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. The people. That's what we the people is all about. It's a delegation of constitutional powers. Look at the United States Constitution. Article 1 says, all legislative power herein granted. Granted from whom? The people, of course. We the people. That's who put together the Constitution. We delegated this power. The legislative authority goes to Congress. Article 2 says all executive power, the President. Article 3, all judicial power shall be vested in a Supreme Court of the United States and such other inferior courts as Congress may establish from time to time. The principles are there, we'll recognize them even in our founding documents. This declaration of authority from we the people down to the government, constitutional powers. Among those powers is the power and authority to legislate, to pass laws. Some of those laws will confer authority into constitutional officers or administrative offices, such as a sheriff or a police chief or a warden or a director or a CEO or a boss of whatever description. And then through various policies, procedures, organizational structures, chains of command, we will then delegate that authority down the line to the officer on the street, the detention officer in the jail, the dispatcher in the telecommunications room, whatever your position, might be. But we have this structure of delegated authority. If we wanted to get really detailed, we could have our captains and our lieutenants and our sergeants on down the line, and we have this picture of the chain of authority, the hierarchy of power within a law enforcement organization. But before we can dig deeply into this dynamic of authority, you must understand this first important maxim, that all human authority is delegated authority.